Welcome to the Elliott Confidential Podcast. My name's Aiden, and today we're talking about Germany while living in Paris, because we don't like French people.
We don't like French people?
Yes.
But we're...
Straight
The
up.
reason we're not talking about Paris is because we've just gotten to Paris,
Yeah.
right?
No, those Frenchies, they're real feisty, though.
Yeah. Question of the week. Because we have so much to get through, we'll just start with a question, which is, Aaron, you know our question is.
What is the buggiest place you've ever been to? We've experienced a lot of buggy destinations. I think the three is Paris this time of year. Then there's Eastern Germany, especially northeastern Germany. And then there's Red Center in recent memory.
Red Center, Australia.
Red Center was crazy.
You weren't even there.
Amazing, but too many bugs.
Well, tell us about the buggiest destination you've ever been to. Most bugs, biggest bugs. I heard that the state bird of Alaska is the mosquito. Tell us all about it.
This time of year. Now, when we got to Paris, we got into an apartment, and most apartments in Paris don't have air conditioning. So we opened the window up, and the mosquitoes all came in, and I don't know. I think you have the worst bites.
Yeah,
You're covered in mosquito bites.
I woke up at about 5:30 a.m. covered in bugs, and I frantically ran out of my room to rub the mosquito repellent on it on my arm.
Yeah.
Mosquito repellent, it kind of works, and it smells awful. So I had to go to sleep smelling awful.
Show and tell. Oh.
No, I don't want to smell it.
It's terrible.
It's awful.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah.
But we want to talk about Germany.
Yeah.
No bugs, but we want to hear your bug stories.
Yeah.
Please tell us your bug stories.
Even the French mosquitoes are feisty. It's just a thing here. Everything is, why you want this? And then the mosquitoes come in and they're like, why you want me to not bite you and make you feel pain?
Our podcast is going to be kind of a lightning round because we've been to so many places in Germany, mostly in Eastern Germany, but also Western Germany. We should just start with some photos here. This is Walsheim, which is near Karlsruhe, and that was where we kind of left off in our last podcast. It's been a while. Sorry about the long delay. And it was, look at this. This is a beautiful day here. We were walking through the countryside. This is most of the area here in the country is like castles on hills and everything like that. They have really nice kind of a natural preserve. I'm going to be writing about that in my coverage, but we wanted to show, you want this? We wanted to show some photos of that. And Aaron, you and I actually had a chance to walk through some of the orchards that are just starting to have like ripening fruit on them.
Yeah. So this photo right here is when we were in Walsheim, but the previous photo was actually taken, I believe, in Anweiler,
Look at the grapes.
which is a...
I know. Okay,
Look at
let's
those.
go
Those
straight
are
to the
some
grapes
plump
here.
grapes.
Yeah.
These grapes actually, this photo was taken a couple of weeks ago, but by now the grapes are looking much darker and are ready to be harvested.
It's a wine growing region.
It's a wine growing
obviously,
region.
yeah.
And do they still stomp them with their feet?
I think that sometimes they do have those ceremonies, but that's not for commercial things.
Yeah.
But we did stop by something called the Ölmühle, which is the oil mill, and they all make various types of oils.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, so this guy, we were on our way out of Western Germany, and we decided to stop by his oil mill. It's just a modern oil mill, and what he does is health oils, particularly.
Yeah.
So one of the things that they specialize in is black cumin oil, but they do all sorts of local oils. One of the things that is well known also in that region is pumpkin seeds.
Oh,
they do
chestnut
pumpkin seed oil.
Chestnut oil. Too.
Yeah, rapeseed oil.
Yeah.
And while we were there, we ate horse feed.
Okay, this is what he's right here in the pail.
Yeah, we tried a little bit of that when they're done extracting the oils.
Yeah, the leftovers.
And it's like all dry.
Right.
They give that to horses to eat, and we're like,
yes.
I liked it.
Well, you're going to jump to the next place, Spreewald, which is in Eastern Germany. Now, we're going to show you on the map where we went. This is, and Aaron is going to create a really beautiful map. Thank you very much. It's a beautiful map, and Spreewald is up in Eastern Germany, and I had to start with a beautiful sunflower. Yes. This is, when you drive through Germany at this time of year, you see these beautiful fields filled with sunflowers.
And they attract lots of insects. And also there's a lot of, so in Spreewald they're well known for pickles, but they're also well known for just
Sauerkraut.
these on sauerkraut, canals,
Yeah.
and lots of. It's a very marshy area.
Yeah.
Very good for bugs and storks. Yeah, storks.
Sometimes the sunflowers will face the other direction, and you can like walk through the fields and feel singled out.
Yes, they do. Well, the sunflowers don't turn. They just are always facing the
they're
same
just-
direction.
Yeah.
But they're watching you. They're constantly
Yeah.
watching you.
It's like Plants vs. Zombies reference.
That's right. Okay, here's speaking of marshland. This is when we took a tour through one of the bioreserves, and Aaron is going through one of the locks here. And
Yep.
Yeah.
We called that canoe the Greta boat. That was our
why is
nickname
it called
for
the Greta boat?
while we were going through.
No, that's not the Greta boat. If you want to die, that's the Greta boat.
Here's Aiden trying to open one of the locks, and
Yeah.
there's our guide there. How hard was that, Aiden, to open the locks?
Not very hard.
No.
No. She said that usually you get paid to do that. I didn't get paid. Like kids will be there. They'll ask for like €2 or €3, and then they'll open it up for you. You don't have to get out your
That's
boat.
overpriced.
It's really beautiful in there. Look at
I
check
would
this-
have liked to get like €2 or €3
Here,
for
this
that.
this looks okay.
I'm old enough to drink here,
I'll-
and the beers there are cheap.
We'll settle up later. This is it's really beautiful. It looks almost like I don't know, like the cypress forests in Florida almost, but
Yep.
that's the tip of your kayak there.
Yeah,
or-
I actually compared this to Florida with our guide, and our guide seemed offended
I
by
don't
that.
think she liked that.
Florida is beautiful.
Yeah. This whole area was settled by Slavic people, and they speak their own language. It's very
Sorbian.
It's fascinating. But they built everything along the rivers, and some of these places can only be accessed by river.
Yeah, and they all have thatched roofs, and they actually have a fire department
Yeah,
on the water though.
It only operates.
Yeah, so
boats.
it's
Yeah.
a little city that you can only access by boat.
Yeah, and
Fascinating place.
funny enough, the fire department also had a thatch roof. So
Ironically,
Yeah.
they built it ironically.
they're gonna use that on themselves. one of
Yeah,
these
right.
days.
Speaking of thatch, storks. We saw a lot of storks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I have not been to Europe in a long time. Like I haven't lived in Europe in a long time. But this was stork season, so there's storks everywhere, and they make a peculiar sound. It's like the alien sound you hear, like a predator. And anyway, but they're everywhere, and these are the young baby storks here.
Yeah, very good.
We stayed in a barn. It was a hotel that had been a converted barn, but they were really into sustainability. Can't wait to write about that. But in the back, they had a garden. I don't think you got to see it, but Aaron and I had a tour,
I walked through it.
and
took a peek.
it's all just like ripening fruit.
Thousand Spreewald.
That was pretty insane.
Was that the vegan hotel?
No, it was not. But these guys were very serious about creating something that was sustainable. So if you're really into sustainability, this Spreewald area in eastern Germany is definitely a place. This is Putbus. That's a very unusual name, but it is up near the Baltic coast. And over here is...
It's Rügen. Rügen was
yeah.
the island.
Here's a picture of... we took a hike, and here's a photo of us.
Okay.
That's not us. That's not our boat, but I just took a picture of a
Yeah,
random
you
boat.
just took a picture of someone's boat.
Thatched roofs are really big. So this is an older thatched roof here. All the houses have them.
I see that building on like the packaging, on like the wheat that
Yeah,
you
it's
buy
like the
on like the boxes of wheat.
with butter cookies.
Oh yeah, cookies.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that
What?
called?
But
Eldridge
we didn't
Farms?
get any
I don't
cookies
know.
though.
It's
I
like
feel kind
Eldridge
of ripped
Farms.
off.
Looks like it.
All the older homes have these thatched roofs,
Yeah.
and they have to be replaced every couple of years because they kind of wear down. But
Then
they're
why would
beautiful.
You keep it then?
It's a tradition. That's why.
Okay.
Here's another thatched roof. This is a more modern thatched roof here that we saw. Here's a picture of you and your brother when we were just hiking around this area. It's just vast, fields and then marshlands and forests. It's very, very beautiful. But also, I should note we're in the middle of summer and it turned a little bit cold. So if you think that you're going to be going to the Baltic coast and enjoying warm weather during the summer, at least bring a jacket with you, I would say.
Yeah.
Here's a picture of what I was mentioning, the fields and the marshes that kind of like you can see. It's like this all over the place. It's really, really beautiful. This is the view from behind our or houseboat.
No, that was
These
the
are-
boat that we decided not to sleep in.
Oh, that's right. You guys had the possibility of spending one night on a smaller yacht. It was not, I would say, a boat, and
We decided against it.
not to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Aalbeck is an island that is right up on the Baltic, and it is known for its many Jugendstil, Art Deco homes. And it's a very popular vacation area for people coming from Berlin. So it's kind of a locals place, but very beautiful and very historic. And here's you, Aiden. We took a bike tour.
Yeah, we took a very fun bike tour around all the houses. I remember they were telling us about how some of the big houses were owned by Jews in the area that got kicked out.
Yeah, that's true.
And she told us that they got kicked out by the Nazis, but then at the end of the Nazi regime, they gave it back. They were like, she was like, "Don't worry, we gave them back their houses."
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this is in the DDR. Is it
Right.
DDR?
It was East Germany.
Yeah,
so
it was easy.
They didn't want their houses. They were
So
like,
they're like,
no,
"No, just
East
keep 'em.
Germany
Just
doesn't
keep
like
'em."
it. Yeah, you can have it. Some of them are quite beautiful.
Yeah.
This was one of the more famous ones. And you can see these little cabanas here. Those belong to the guests. And you can also rent them. And you can walk. We walked to the Polish border. Aaron, what did you think of that? That was kind of an interesting thing.
It was cool to be able to walk across the border, actually. They had a cool little promenade that would take you to Świnoujście.
Świnoujście.
Yeah, Świnoujście.
Tak.
Something like that. Anyway, it was pretty cool. I mean, seeing so much, it was just the multilingual sort of aspect of it, because really this area is there's only Germans there. Only Germans, and particularly Germans from Eastern Germany, from like Berlin, maybe Hamburg, but really it's a very locals destination. So to see that, and then Polish people from across the border. Świnoujście is a much larger city. That was very interesting. I haven't seen something like that in Eastern Germany before. So that was cool.
The some of the homes are enormous. This one here looks a little bit like the White House. This was also owned by a Jewish owner, then confiscated during World War II, and then returned, and now it's, I think, a hotel. We then went to a place called Warnemünde, which is only about an hour and a half away from there.
Near Rostock.
It's near Rostock. And we stayed in a fascinating hotel. This was a container hotel. And you can actually, there's a beautiful view. If you look at this picture very closely, you can see the cruise ship right behind it. But these are all containers and they are rooms. What was it like staying in a container hotel? I didn't.
Don't ask me.
Okay.
I don't want to answer.
I'll answer. You don't want to stay in a container hotel if it gets too warm, because it really, they don't have air conditioning inside it.
Warm in there.
But they have heaters, so if it's cold, then it's okay. But it's kind of a cool concept though, because they're really recycling these. Building containers have become a real thing to build things out of for sustainability. So I was intrigued by that, and the views were pretty spectacular from there. So we're done with Eastern Germany, and now we're headed back. This was our last stop before we left in Frankfurt. Mm-hmm. And I used to live in Frankfurt many years ago when I was on my Fulbright year, and it's changed so much. This is a picture of you guys in front of the old opera house.
Yeah, everything in Frankfurt is really walkable. The central city area is really small, and people overestimate how big the city is. I mean, even population-wise. What is it at right now?
It's a small
It's
city.
like 200 million. No, not 200,000.
200 million. That's a lot of people.
I think it's like a little bit more, maybe 600,000. But
600,000.
It's a
That's a lot less
it's a
people.
small town, but it's the financial capital of Germany.
They're the only ones that make money. They're keeping Berlin afloat.
Yeah, well, we took a flight from South Korea with T-Way, and T-Way we're surprised. It's a really good airline.
Yeah.
And so we saw a lot of people coming in from Asia, a lot of Asian tourists, especially Korean tourists, which was interesting because having been to other cities in in Germany particularly. You just don't see that many tourists coming in from such a far way away.
We stayed at a place called the Villa Orange, and here's the owner. It is a completely, they call it a bio hotel, which means that they're using all natural and organic ingredients and everything. And it used to be a retirement home, and they turned it into a hotel. What did you guys think of staying there?
Well, it was a pretty good hotel. Actually, the services were good. There weren't a lot of people there. I felt like, you know, when it comes to sustainability, the bio perspective is something that's rarely ever taken seriously. People generally tend to want to get rid of reusable plastics. They want to reduce electricity emissions, things like that. But to go bio is a totally, it's not a completely different direction, but it's one that very few hotels and establishments actually take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So-
and it was only like 2 blocks away from a really good shawarma place too.
Shawarma. All right. It's
That's a
always about the
plus.
food, right? I should have put more food shots in here.
Yeah.
This is actually
The grape shot though, that one was
The grape-
plum
clo-
grapes.
close
That's,
enough. We had the opportunity to drive an EV through Germany. This is probably worth an entire podcast. Here's a picture of Aaron inside the EV.
Yeah.
The thing that we had a hard time with, I think, was just finding a good charging
Chargers,
station.
yeah. Some of the chargers are really fast,
And some of them are
convenient.
not.
Some of them aren't,
Yeah.
and the fast ones are, you know, they're on main roads. If you're going out in the countryside like we were, you're going to find a lot more slow chargers.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the slow chargers cost more than the fast chargers. How does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Well,
the pricing doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
at
and
all.
in order to even use them in the first place, you have to always download like a new app or something. I wish they could like centralize everything.
I don't know what the price difference is between electric and gas cars in Germany at this point, but I can tell you that the price of filling up the electric car or charging the electric car, because it's not gas, you don't fill it up, was considerable. We didn't get that much range. I think we got at most 320 kilometers or something,
Yeah.
which is like 100 and maybe 180 miles.
Yeah.
It really isn't a lot. And so I felt like that was you got some range anxiety with that.
That's Reichweitenangst.
And also there's a learning curve, because learning how to use these different charging stations takes a lot. You need to, in some cases, you need to have a special card. If you don't have that special card, then you need to scan a QR code. We had an experience when we were in Hamburg where they had a QR code, but it just didn't exist. So what you had to do is then look up on the internet and unfortunately there are websites that are German only where they say, oh, you have to download this app.
Oh, and
not in a very clear way.
Not to mention graffiti. Sometimes the graffiti would cover up the QR code. That happened in Frankfurt.
Exactly. And so you have to download a special app, and then you have to put in your credit card details. Mm-hmm. It is really an ordeal sometimes getting those things working. I was actually surprised one time we had to use a Tesla charger, and I didn't know how much of an ordeal that would be.
Yeah.
But I spent probably 15 minutes fidgeting on my phone, figuring out what they needed
you had to
in order
register.
for me to be able to actually pay for us to start using the meter.
Yeah.
So really, it's if you have never used an electric car, it's going to be a learning curve, and if you've never done it in Europe,
It's even more of a learning curve.
yeah.
And I'll point out as well that in most countries it actually does make total sense to go electric because it's really cheap. But electricity in Germany is really expensive because there's no nuclear power plants.
Yeah.
There's also
No, they have nuclear. No, they don't have.
they don't have any nuclear power
all
plants.
wind, yeah.
And they're getting rid of a lot of coal
Coal
power
plant,
plants
yes.
and gas power plants.
To be more sustainable.
To be more sustainable. So now it's all wind, solar, which are really expensive. But you know, if you're in the U.S. or in other European countries, it's way cheaper. Like especially in the Nordic countries where they use a lot of nuclear energy, but they don't like nuclear energy in Germany at all.
So I would say I enjoyed driving the EV. It had some good pickup. This was a Skoda, as they say, and it drove just fine. It didn't really have that much range, but it had a lot. It was fun to drive, and it got you there. And when you got down to 20% battery, it would start screaming at you. So that was, you don't want to get to that point. If you are going to use an EV or rent an EV while you are traveling in Europe, make sure that you have the registration done for the charging stations, and make sure that you configure the nav system so that it finds the closest fast charger, so you don't have to wait around for 6 hours. If you can do that, and if you're not driving too far, like we drove pretty far through in Germany.
And it was not
had
quite as
8-hour
bad.
drives in some cases.
We thought it would be worse than it actually ended up being, given how much we were driving. But it was still a lot.
But if you're going to stay in just an area, a smaller area, then you're going to be absolutely fine. So I would recommend it for that. But if you're going to do long distance drives, make sure you got all your ducks lined
Let's be
up.
clear. All of our gripes here are for the 8 to 10 hour drives.
Yeah.
If it's lower than that, then you're going to have absolutely no problem.
Yeah. But overall, we spent a whole month in Germany. Where would you guys go if you could go back? Which places would you go back to?
Western Germany.
Western Germany, yeah. I thought that the hospitality in Western Germany was really good. I mean, in Eastern Germany, it's still not a developed destination in the sense that you have international tourists coming, but it's getting there. So there are some places that I think have a lot of potential, and I understand why you guys want to go back to Western Germany. I love Western Germany as well, but I really thoroughly enjoyed the visit to Germany. What about you, Aaron?
I really liked Hamburg. Hamburg was one place that we stayed at last year.
So Hamburg, you liked Hamburg?
Yeah, I like that. I think that if I could, I would spend more time there. They have really good food there. It's a really cool urban destination without being too, how can I say, gritty. It's not as gritty as here in Paris. Yeah, we went on a walk today.
Well,
Paris
to be fair,
is very gritty.
To be fair, when we talk about this on the podcast, they've cleaned up the city quite a bit. And the locals hate it?
Yes.
Like, do you guys just not like fun here?
Oh, no. We're going to get to Paris. Don't worry.
Eventually.
Paris,
like, literally, the
we'll
streets are
get to
clean, and the guys here, they detest it. They hate it.
Is that what they said?
They called it the Disneyfication. I'm like, Disney's clean.
No, they did.
They clean that place every day.
Yeah.
You guys should, I'm going to hold my thoughts for the next podcast.
Yes, that's a good idea. I would go back to the one destination I would go back to in Eastern Germany in a heartbeat is Berlin. I love Berlin. Berlin is great. It's got those wide streets, really good food. People are very nice. Love Berlin. So if I went back to, in fact, I would say Berlin is probably my favorite German destination, period, because it's just
it's
got
the raves.
Yeah, the techno waves. Yeah, my favorite.
Who knew raves didn't make very much money?
Do not forget, please, to answer our question, which is, what's the buggiest destination that you've ever been to? I'm thinking about this even now as I'm trying to itch all my mosquito bites that I sustained last night in Paris. I know that you just feel immense amounts of sympathy for us suffering here in Paris, but our apartment is filled with mosquitoes right now, so it's not that pleasant.
Don't show them. Don't show them.
Pleasant.
It's really bad. Don't show them.
It's everywhere. Anyway, so glad you joined us. We'll be back next week. Promise next week we'll be back with another episode, and we'll be talking about Paris and Greece. Yes, we made a stop in Greece before we came here, and it's been a long time. Sorry. Anyway, don't forget to answer our question, and we'll see you next week.
See you later.
Ciao.
Bye.